All right, welcome back. Another day of math. Okay, hold on, Matt. Okay. Take two. Welcome back. Another day of math and more. Today we're doing lesson 1-3 in math expressions. If you're not doing math expressions, we're just working with equivalent fractions. Today we're concentrating on what's called multipliers and divisors, and it's just a continuation of what we were doing the last couple days with using this multiplication sheet to find equivalent fractions. And it's not that hard. It's kind of as easy as like swatting flies off a horse. So by now you're pretty familiar with how these operations in math work, like addition and subtraction undo each other. And we talked about how multiplication and division undo each other. So they're reverse properties, like you can multiply by 3 or divide by 3. They undo each other. And then we took a look at this multiplication chart. And keep in mind it's a multiplication chart. So today when we get to division, we don't have a division chart. We're going to use a multiplication chart, but instead of using a multiplication chart going this way, we're just going to say we're going to use it in reverse and go this way and call it division. As simple as that. So if you understand how to use a multiplication chart, you go in one way, you just do the opposite going this way for division. And so we're going to use that to describe a multiplier, and we're going to use that to describe a divisor. So let's say you have a multiplier. It would look something like this. Here's a fraction, 6/8 equals 24/32. And we know that's true. I'm telling you it's true. It's right there. And then if you take your multiplication sheet, if you need to, you can turn this to 6/8. So there's the 6 column. 6 times 1, 6 times 2, 6 times 3, 6 times 4. It says up here 1, 2, 3, 4. And eighths. Oh my goodness. I can't get that. There we go. 6/8. Here's the eighths. So if you see in the 6/8 column, like 6/8, there it is the same as 24/32, and that's way over here. You see on your multiplication sheet, they are the same. They are what's called equivalent fractions. So what we're asking for is the multiplier. Now I know my numerators got larger. 24 is larger than 6, and I know my denominators got larger. 32 is larger than 8. So if I'm getting larger with fractions, I know I have to multiply. I know whatever I do to the top I have to do to the bottom, or whatever I do to the bottom I have to do to the top, so they're the same because you got to keep them equivalent. That's the equivalent in equivalent fractions. So you can look over at your sheet, or you could just know your times tables. So 6 times 4 is 24. And also 8 times 4 is 32. So my multiplier in this case is going to be 4. So if you get a question, just ask, what's the multiplier? The multiplier is 4. You multiply the numerator and denominator by 4. Alright, so when you're doing the divisor, it's pretty much the same, except we're doing the problem kind of in reverse. So in this case, we have this fraction, where my numerator, 5/25 equals 1/5, is getting smaller, less than, and smaller. So on your operations chart, when you're doing fractions and you're getting smaller, you are dividing. Now, we could take a look at our multiplication table. We have 5/25. I'm going to go to 1/5. I'm going to always go to my smallest number. This is how we use the multiplication chart. So 1/5, that's over here. 1, that's my ones column. Here's my fifths column. 1/5, we always go back to the unit fraction, 1/5, and I have 5/25. As you can see from this chart, they are equivalent. Now, instead of asking myself 1 times what is 5, I'm just going to ask 5 divided by what is 1. And actually 5 divided by 5 is 1, and 25 divided by 5 is 5. So if you look here, it's divided by 5. It's just using the multiplication chart in reverse. Since we don't have a division chart, we just use a multiplication chart in reverse. You could also ask yourself this question. Let's say, I'm not great at multiplication. Excuse me, I'm not great at division. You could ask it this way. I know I'm moving like this because I need to know the divisor, but I'm not good at division. Could you ask, well, I could look at it this way. 1 times 5 is 5. So if 1 times 5 is 5, 5 divided by 5 is 1. I could say 5 times 5 is 25. If that's true, then 25 divided by 5 is 5. So you could ask yourself the multiplication question. So when they're asking you for the divisor, in this particular case, the divisor is 5. That's it. That's your answer. What's the divisor between 5/25 and 1/5? The divisor is 5. Where's my arrow? I can't get it. There. Horseflies. Get. Darn flies. Get out of here.